But he's usually good when he's here as another guy. I think the first time he ever came here was in July, several years back, late 90s, I want to say, and the Penn National 100 was a Stars event then, and walked away with the $10,000 first prize.
Rich Appolito in the 77 car. You see him here on the main straightaway. Keith Rodriguez alongside in 29. John Hodgkiss in the 69. Scott Gunn in 14G. Then it's going to be Freddie Smith in the 00. Larry Moran in 97.
Two, Urban and Hartman, new faces. Chubb won it in 2001 for his only win here. We're soon going to find out who's going to be the three cars to make it out of this Rebel Dyno Shocks B-Main #1.
John Mason, Gary Stuhler, chief starter Noel Hargis at the cone. Here we go. Good start. And Cunningham will slide it to third. Baker slips up the track there. They go 3 wide into 1. Steve works outside Grove, and right now it's not working down the back straightaways. They close in on him. Baker has dropped back to 6th right now. And right now it is all Gary Stuhler at the line, lap 1.
Stuhler will lead it. Mason just ahead of Bill Cunningham and Brian Ruhlman for second. Ruhlman to the outside, and watch the West Virginia Rim Rider Baker. If he can get that top side dialed in, he can go.
Here comes the 2005 Snowco American Late Model Series champion. Baker now dives to the inside on Close. A little bit of contact there. Brian Ruhlman in the 49 car trying to get around Cunningham.
Close and Baker side by side behind them into turn #1. Ruhlman with a slide job, and he can't make it stick. Mason pushes high off at 2. Cunningham tried to squeeze underneath him, and then it's Ruhlman, and here comes Baker.
Wheel-to-wheel racing in this Mason Racing Rebel Shock Dyno B-Main, and problems. Ruhlman up out of the groove. Mason second. Baker back into third.
Farm Used Auto Parts, Richard Construction 0, the West Virginia Rim Rider, up to third after he had dropped all the way to 6th. Look at the lead that Gary Stuhler has.
That's a Masters-built Pontiac Grand Prix. Keith and Tater Masters out of Crothersville, Indiana, build those fine cars. Tater Masters in the house. And Freddie Smith, you see him taking a peek, trying to get to the front. You got to get in the top 3 now.
So is Rick Auckland making big-time progress in car number 12. He has joined that battle just behind the top 3. Mason still second. Baker applying the pressure as they enter turn 3. Stuhler completing lap number 5.
Straightaway lead for Gary Stuhler, the veteran out of Greencastle, Pennsylvania. Good race on back. Mason second. Baker tries that top groove. Baker sees an opening. Mason will drift up. And John Mason shuts the door. Cunningham still 4th. Now Baker will dive to the inside down. Side by side into turn 3, and Baker makes the move. Nice.
I knew he wasn't going to back down once he got the preferred line going into turn number 3. The West Virginia Rim Rider now charging his way to second. Mason is on the bubble in 3rd, with Bill Cunningham not far behind in 4th.
6 down and 6 to go. A straightaway lead for Stuhler. Then it's Baker, Mason, Cunningham, Close, Ruhlman, Burner, Barbara, Auckland trying to gain ground, and those drivers better get going down because they've only got 5 laps to get in the top 3.
Yes, sir. Time is running out. Just 5 more laps to go. Steve Baker now has left behind racing John Mason and Bill Cunningham in that battle for the final transfer spot. Bob Close and Brian Ruhlman behind them. Then Burner, Barbara, Auckland, and Mike Johnson.
Right now, 3rd spot heating up here. The 59 car, Bill Cunningham on the inside. The Jefferson, Ohio pilot into 1. He'll slide in on Mason. They go side by side, and Mason maintains a spot. 4 to go.
Gary Stuhler looking stout in this first B-Main, completing lap 9, 3 to go. Looking to transfer into the Pittsburgher again. He has not won the Pittsburgher, but he's been awfully close over the years.
No doubt right now, Steve Baker a solid second. Now Mason a little bit of distance between himself and Cunningham. As Close has gotten around Ruhlman, but they're running out of laps. 2 to go. The white flag will come out next time around. And right now, the top 3 down look pretty solid.
Yeah, racing John Mason has started to separate himself from the 59 of Bill Cunningham. Here comes Stuhler completing lap number 11. He is on a rail right in the middle of the racetrack with 1 to go.
Final lap, Gary Stuhler already into 1. Here's Steve Baker. Again, Baker started in the second row.
Third spot,
and dropped all the way to 6th, but nice recovery. He's going to make the race the way it looks right now. That's after they cross the scales, of course, to make it official. Out at turn 4 all the way. It's a solid run for Gary Stuhler taking the checkered flag.
A West Virginia rim rider, Steve Baker, will please the local fans with his charge to 2nd, and Racing John Mason is 3rd. Bill Cunningham, Bob Close, Brian Ruhlman, Keith Berner, Keith Barbara, Mike Johnson, Rick Auckland, and Freddie Smith follow them home. It will be his 14th start in the Pittsburgh 100. Gary Stuhler, your winner.
And get a rolling chassis somewhere in the neighborhood, 10, 12 grand minimum for something like that. And of course, these tires about 150 bucks a piece, so it is not inexpensive. But $1,000 to start the Pittsburgh 100, and 3 out of this will go.
Here they come off of 4, the PPM Racing Products B-Main number 2, and it's Tim Dohm leading the field into turn number 1.
Well, you see Scott James, his strategy was get there quick to 2nd. He does around Lance Elson down the back straightaway.
Elson, Brent Raybergen, and Al Atsala, your top 5 into turn number 3. Atsala is going to try that outside line in the 02 car. Raybergen up blocking his path in turn 4. Some contact as they come off.
Brent Raybergen driving that 07 car that is a Bob Pierce race car chassis, the 07 car right now. Dave Hess Jr. on the inside. He ran with us down in East Bay in Florida in February. Now he's around the 02 car.
Up to 5th.
Yeah.
Up to 5th. Dome still your leader. James is 2nd. Elson in the final transfer spot. 10 laps to go.
Scott James tries the outside groove. He's getting that car tuned in for the main event right now. And these cars do not use radios nor any other transmission devices, no mirrors. And Tim Dohm looks good right now. Scott James 2nd, Lance Elson still 3rd.
Yeah, back to Brent Raybergen 4th, then Dave Hess Jr., Alan Sala, DJ Miller, Rodney Schweitzer, Tony Mussolino, and Danny Rich. Elson gaining on James, who slipped off at 2.
Scott James, his very first time here at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. The Indiana driver, he's made the Dream at Eldora this year, the Show Me 100, and has 2 $10,000 victories this year.
Alex is back around Dave Hess Jr. and Sala back into the top 5. Lance Elson continues to challenge Scott James for 2nd.
See some of the crew members probably on the inside, their hand signals. 2nd and 3rd solid. They don't want to. You don't want to get into somebody and take somebody out, and Elson did a good job there backing off down the back straightaway. Those first 3 have pulled away, so they've got a pretty good advantage right now as they come up on the halfway mark. 6 down, 6 to go in the PPM Racing Products 2nd B main.
Tim Dohm looks like he's able to get into the turn very well. Looks like he's having a hard time coming off. The car a little tight. He was starting to close the gap just a bit.
Tim Dohm has had some impressive runs this year. The last one at Tazewell, Tennessee, where he started 24th and finished 5th a couple of weeks ago on Labor Day weekend. And he was leading the Hillbilly 100 for several laps this year. And also at Tyler County in the Lucas Oil Late Model race till he lost the motors. But right now, Scott James has picked up the pace down. He's closed on Tim Dohm.
The Silver Shark is starting to see some fresh meat in front of him. He is within 2 car lengths of the leader with 4 laps to go.
Scott looked good when he hot lapped out there a while back, but right now he's all over Dohm. Dohm drifts up, and here comes Scott James, and he'll take the lead.
Impressive. He is getting faster as this race goes on. Dohm, we talked about the handles seem to be going away. He's still comfortably in 2nd, though, so he should be able to transfer with just 3 laps to go. Elson 3rd, and then it's back a ways to Brent Raybergen and Al Atsala running 4th and 5th.
Scott James getting a feel for this racetrack.
And this is a different kind of racetrack. Not a lot of guys can come here and run good right out of the box.
Right.
A few laps to get down in.
It's about like Eldora, where it's a momentum racetrack, and we saw that in that first B main. Brian Ruhlman had a good run going, and he got pushed up out of the groove, and that cost him a couple of spots and a chance to make the Pittsburgh 100. Right now, it's all James, Dohm, and Elson of the white flag. 1 lap to go. 1 to go, the final lap.
And traffic ahead.
Yes, look out.
We got a car out of shape. Tim Gold to the inside of the back straightaway as your leaders starting to turn 3. Things tightening up.
Close in behind 5-time track champion Ben Miley at the line. It'll be Scott James with the win. Tim Dome will take second. Lance Elson will be third. Those three gentlemen cross the scales. They will be in the Pittsburgh 100.
Brent Raybergen, Alan Chala, Dave Hess Jr., DJ Miller, Tony Mussolino, Rodney Schweitzer, Chad Ruhlman, Danny Rich, Jim Kudis, Dave Wade, Rick Briggs, and Ben Miley will come up short, although Wade will get a provisional.
Starting spot. He wound up in the final point standings for 2005 here, fifth. He drives the West Mifflin Collision Subway number 14G. It is a rocket chassis. He's out of West Mifflin, Pennsylvania. It is Scott Gunn. Starting alongside in row number 14, he drives the Yuengling number 76 rocket chassis, America's oldest brewery. He is the defending Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway late model truck champion. In car 76 out of Clinton, Pennsylvania, it is Dave Wade. On the outside of the 13th row, he'll take a Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series provisional today. He drives the K&D Trucking Chase Custom Decals Masters Built chassis. Back last month, he was inducted to the National Dirt Late Model Hall of Fame at Florence Speedway in Union, Kentucky. He has over 450 career feature wins. In the number 12, out of Zanesville, Ohio, two-time Pittsburgh 100 winner, Rick Auckland. And starting alongside Rick Auckland, using a series provision tonight, he's in the White Oaks Motorsports, Volunteer Trucking, Kinzer Drilling, GRT, Dodge Intrepid. He has 782 career feature wins. He is the only five-time winner of the Dirt Track World Championship race. He's a two-time Dream winner. In the famous 00 from Seymour, Tennessee, the Southern gentleman, Freddie Smith. On the outside of row number 12, this gentleman drives the unique Walls and Ceilings Rocket Pontiac Grand Prix. He was the fifth fastest qualifier for the weekend in the number 17 E-car. He's out of Wellsburg, West Virginia. It is Lance Elson. Starting alongside on the inside of row number 12, he's in the Burt Transmissions Mason Racing Masters Built number 72, he too a member of the National Dirt Late Model Hall of Fame. He is from Millersburg, Ohio. It is, ladies and gentlemen, Racing John Mason. On the outside of the 11th row in the 22nd starting spot, he's in the Dome Cycle Sales Rocket Chassis number 6T. He is currently second in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Rookie of the Year standings. He's the showstopper out of Cross Lanes, West Virginia. It is Tim Dome. On the inside of row number 11 in the Richard Construction, the Farm Used Parts number 0 Rocket Chassis Pontiac Grand Prix. He did a great job on one of the B mains, fell back, started third, fell back to sixth, got in and made the Pittsburgh 100 in car number 0. He is from Fairmount, West Virginia, third in this year's Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Motor Speedway point standings. It is Steve Baker. On the outside of the 10th row, this gentleman's making his first appearance here at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. He is currently fifth in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series point standings. He's currently leading the Rookie of the Year chase. He's in the Baylor Trucking Powell Motorsports Rocket Pontiac Grand Prix. He's known as the Silver Shark in car 83 out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Say hello to Scott James. On the inside of row number 10, he's in the interior specialist, Gary Neininger-owned Master-Built Pontiac Grand Prix, car number 90. Earlier this year, he became the all-time winningest late model feature winner in the history of Hagerstown Speedway in Hagerstown, Maryland. In the number 90, out of Greencastle, Pennsylvania, it is Gary Stuhler. On the outside of row number 9, this gentleman has won the Pittsburgh 100 3 times. He's in the Dale Beitler Racing Reliable Painting Rocket Chassis Pontiac Grand Prix. In that familiar number 19, Juice from Greensburg, Pennsylvania, it is Davey Johnson. Starting alongside, he's in the Eddie Snowco PBM Performance Products Masters Built Chevrolet Monte Carlo. He is a four-time winner of the World 100, former Dream winner. He won the Eldora Million in 2001, the only $1 million to win race in the history of dirt track racing. In the number 99 entry out of Dresden, Ohio, 1991 Pittsburgh 100 champion, the $1 Million Man. It is Donnie Moran. On the outside of row number 8, he is a second-generation driver in the Miller Brothers Coal, McDonald's Restaurant, Schwartz Chassis, Monte Carlo. In the 4B, out of Grayson, Kentucky, it is Jackie Boggs. Alongside, in the 15th starting spot, he's in the Bryan Equipment River Salvage Flinter Custom Decals, number 48. He is the 2005 Pennsylvania Motor Speedway late model track champion. Let's hear it for car 48, John Flinter. On the outside of row number 7, he became a member of the National Dirt Late Model Hall of Fame this year, voted in back in August. He drives that familiar number 1 Cochran Automotive Pontiac. He is the all-time winningest late model driver here at Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway, 6-time track champion out of Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania. It is Lynn Geisler. On the inside of row number 7, in 2004, he was the RPM Racing News Driver of the Year, the 2004 Extreme Dirt Car Series champion in the Lucas Oil Dunn-Benson Ford number 1 Masters Built chassis. He's currently second in this year's Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series points. The Hurricane out of Jacksonville, Florida. It is Earl Pearson Jr. Starting on the outside of row number 6 for the Pittsburgh 100. He's in the Calusi Chevrolet H1 Rocket Chassis Chevrolet Monte Carlo. This young man is out of South Park, Pennsylvania. Rocket Chassis driver, it is Red Miley. Starting alongside in the white number 4, the American Diecast Franklin Racing Supply Rocket Pontiac Grand Prix. The veteran, he's out of Saxonburg, Pennsylvania. It is Ed Furry. Starting on the outside of row number 5, this young man is in the Globe Technologies Bayline Fire Protection Masters Built Ford Taurus. In that number 55, the Spider-Man out of Pinconning, Michigan, it is Jeep Van Wormer. Starting in the 9th spot, this gentleman is in the Malkin Racing C.J. Rayburn chassis. He was inducted into the National Dirt Late Model Hall of Fame back in August at Florence Speedway. 1997, Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway track champion out of Strasburg, Ohio. It is Brad Malkin. Outside of row number 4, this young man was the second fastest qualifier here for the weekend out of the 54 entries on hands. He's in the Soybert Calf Ranch's Rocket Ford Taurus, number C9. He hails out of Richmond, Indiana. It is Steve Casebolt Jr. Starting alongside, this gentleman has 6 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series wins in 2005. He is the current series points leader. Race fan since the beginning of the 2002 racing season. He is the winningest dirt late model driver in the country with 88 main event wins. He's in the A1 Auto Salvage, Well-Picked Berries, All-Star Performance, Masters Built Monte Carlo. They call him the real deal out of Martinsville, Indiana. It is Don O'Neill. On the outside of row number 3, he's in the Dirt Shop Incorporated, McCall Industries, Doug Herbert Performance Parts Rocket Pontiac Grand Prix. Back in June, he captured the biggest first place prize in late model dirt track racing that'll be held in 2005 when he won the $100,000 Dream at Eldora Speedway. He is currently riding fourth in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series point standings. In the number 7, the Buckeye Bandit out of Waterville, Ohio, it is Matt Miller. On the inside of row number 3 in that Urgent Cash Cornet Racing Engines Rocket Pontiac Grand Prix. He won the $50,000 to win North-South 100 at Florence Speedway back in August. He is the defending Pittsburgh 100 champion out of Zanesville, Ohio, the Bartman, Bart Hartman. We move to the outside of row number 2. This gentleman drives the Tim Logan Racing GRT, the Moorhead Auto Truck Parts Sales, Wild Side, Custom Haulers, and Truck Conversions, entry number 68. He has won the Pittsburgh 100 twice in his career. He starts fourth tonight out of Weston, West Virginia. The Hitman, it is Tim Hitt. Starting in third tonight, in that Sterling's Auto Body, Lewis decals and signs, C.J. Rayburn Chevrolet Monte Carlo. He is a 2-time Pennsylvania Motor Speedway late model track champion. He's in his 26th year of dirt late model racing out of St. Clairsville, Ohio. It is Mark Bernal. Now for the front row. On the outside in the Kell Racing Engines W.L. Davison Rocket Chassis Pontiac Grand Prix, the 1999 Pennsylvania Motor Speedway late model track champion. He is out of Chester, West Virginia. It is Lou Brownish. And starting on the pole in the Franklin Racing Supply American Diecast, number 4 Rocket Chevrolet Monte Carlo. He is out of Saxonburg, Pennsylvania. Your pole setter, it is Alex Faree.
Ask that you please rise to join us in the invocation this evening. One of our competitors, Ed Faree. Ed?
Thank you very much, Joe. Lord, thank you for this wonderful day, that we could have this race. And we thank you for the Pittsburgher, and a person that never missed one as long as I knew him, a great person that I'm sure we'll all be thinking of, Bill Adler. And Lord, if you would be with us, all the great drivers we have here tonight, and all the pit crew, and watch over them, and also all the spectators on our way home, if you'd watch over them, that there are no accidents. And all this we ask in Jesus' name, amen.
And we ask that you please remain standing. Gentlemen, remove your caps. The Priano family, the singing Prianos, with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Great job. Gives me great pleasure to introduce to you a young man, 12 years of age, Danny Hunkley. How you doing, Danny?
Good.
Now, you're one of our #1 fans here, right?
Yes.
How long you been coming to the racetrack?
6 years.
6 years since you were 6, old enough to walk in yourself. I understand you want to be a flagman someday.
Yes.
You do a lot of practicing in on Saturday, and a lot of the fans get a chance to watch you. Great job. Keep it up, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You are the official honorary starter. You know what that means, don't you?
Yes.
Do you want to give that famous command?
Yes.
Go right ahead.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
28 cars, 100 laps, $22,000 to win, $1,000 to start. When they get to you in turn 4, let's get on your feet. Let's send them off. Some of the greatest drivers in these United States are going to try to put a show on for you, our greatest race fans here tonight. They're going to salute you. You salute them back. The starting field for the 17th annual Pittsburgh 100.
Then you have Bart Hartman and Matt Miller, then Don O'Neill and Steve Case-Bolt Jr. See if we can, we ran 2 B mains without any problems. We'll see if we can get through the first 50 laps before the fuel stop. As Chief Starter Noel Hargis will wave the green flag at the cone to start the 17th annual Pittsburgh 100.
Right away, it's Lou Bradish darting into the lead in turn 1. Mark Benall slides up in front of the field. They're 4 wide for third. Flinner to the outside. No, that's hit to the outside. Benall on the inside, and Miller right behind him into 3.
Wow, a lot of action in turn 2. They dive into 3. Hang on, gentlemen. They motivate those machines around, and Lou Bradish will take the lead in lap 1.
Contact between Bart Hartman and Steve Case-Bolt for about 6. They separate into turn number 1. Bradish in front for Reese second. It's hit. Matt Miller is 4th. Benall trying to hold off Hartman for 5th.
Up front, Lou Bradish in front right now. He'll lead another lap. Alex Ferree, as you see the scoreboard at the infield, again, we'll go to the 50-lap mark. And then we'll have a fuel stop. Matt Miller is running in 4th, and here's Hartman underneath the Benall, the defending champion down the back straightaway. Hartman has a run on Benall. Into turn 3. Now
Bart Hartman moving into the top 5. He started 5th, dropped back. Now he's back up to 5th. Bradish and Ferree setting a quick pace out in front. The track is fast. Ferree has actually closed in a bit over the last lap or 2. Hit 3rd, Matt Miller a close 4th.
It's fun to see 2 gentlemen out in front. If they stay that way, well, they will be excited. Their biggest wins of this career, but again, a long way to go. Right now, a good, clean race going on. Tim Hitt runs in 3rd, Matt Miller 4th, Hartman 5th. Battle for 6th, Case-Bolt, and we got a car down out at turn 4.
Jared Miley.
Yeah, Jared Miley in the H1.
Miley off the pace on the outside of the racetrack in the Calusi Chevy H1, making his first Pittsburgh start. Looks like he may come to a stop in turn 1. He's still rolling. Now the caution is out. Caution is out. He won the Penn National here in July. Has 23 career wins here at the Monster Half Mile. He has led the first 4 laps as we restart the Pittsburgh 100.
Yeah, that was a little tight there. They're all on the gas. Into 1. These guys putting on a show. 800 horsepower is into 1. Hartman will drift up. They're still on the gas. Oh, 3, 4 wide down the back straightaway now.
Hartman, Benall, and Jeep Van Warmer down on the inside. Steve Case-Bolt getting into the mix as well. The Hitman, Timmy Hitt, moving to 2nd. Benall up real high in turn 4, loses several spots. Davey Johnson gets a great restart of the 19. He started 18th. He's already in the top 10.
Trying to become the first 4-time winner of this race. Right now, Matt Miller will challenge Alex Ferree into turn number 3. The 7 and a 4 car. You see the Bartman a solid 5th. Matt Miller on the inside, Alex Ferree on the outside.
Caution is out. Caution is out. Dave Wade in the Yingling 76 is on the back straightaway right behind the Lucas Oil sign. Dave Wade, our 2004 track champion, has stopped on the back straightaway in the Yingling Lager 76 directly behind the Lucas Oil sign.
45 till the break.
45 till the break. It's been the Chester Charger, Lou Bradish, Lucky Lou out of Chester, West Virginia, pacing the field again to our second restart. 95 laps total, 45 to halfway. The 17th annual Pittsburgher is back underway.
Good restart that time. Bradish will dive into one. The hitman will take a look on the inside. Drift up 4 wide down the back straightaway out of 2. And here comes Jackie Boggs on the move in at 4B.
And they're 3 wide for about 10th. Geisler gets squeezed out of the mix in the 1C. Johnson and Boggs can continue to climb forward. It's Faree back in second, dropping hit to third. Hartman is 4th. Matt Miller is 5th. Boggs 6th, Johnson 7th, Van Wormer 8th, Flinner is 9th, and Ed Faree a close 10th over Steve Casebolt.
So both Farees now in the top 10. Son Alex Father and Bart Hartman. Problems on the left front of the racer. The defending Pittsburgher 100 champion down in the 75 car, and that will probably bring out another caution flag.
Now quickly things can change. Bart Hartman in car 75, problems on the left front wheel. The Urgent Cash 75 into the pits. We haven't ran but more than 2 or 3 laps at a time.
So Bart Hartman, the defending race winner, out of the race, as his night is ended after 7 laps. We're ready to go for the Pittsburgher 100 back underway. Bradish will lead him into 1 on the inside hit. Faree 3 wide. Miller right on the back of Faree. Then it's Casebolt, Boggs, Van Wormer, and here comes Davey Johnson.
What about Casebolt? He stuck it in there on the inside of 1, and everybody that was outside was in trouble. Johnson now with a handful, and here comes, look at Baker. Steve Baker, who started this race way back in the 21st position, is challenging for 7th and 8th off a turn to the West Virginia Rim Rider.
Great job by Baker. Remember, he started 3rd in that B main, fell to 6th, got back up to 2nd. He's coming to the front. He's got it hooked up. They'll try to go 3 wide. Coming out of turn 4 right here, Van Wormer, Flinner, and Baker.
They are on the charge into turn 1, 3 wide they go. It's Baker on the very top of the racetrack. The West Virginia Rim Rider trying to take over 7th car off the pace. T8 mark, but all to the pits. The green stays out. Your leader, Lou Bradish. Faree 2nd, hit 3rd. Matt Miller a close 4th. Casebolt 5th. Boggs is 6th. Baker is up to 7th.
Well, the guy that lost on that last restart, Davey Johnson, had gone, what, from 18th up into the top 10. He's dropped back now as we have a change for position down the back straightaway.
John Flinner now, who started back there right in front of Johnson and Moran, is well up into the top 10. He finished 2nd in this race 2 years ago. Jackie Boggs trying to take 5th away from Steve Casebolt. Or is it Casebolt trying to get around Boggs for that 5th spot?
Good side-by-side battle there. Boggs will try the inside slide job into 3. Drifts up. There's contact. Hang on, Casebolt, he does.
He saved it. My God, he saved it. That was a real hard hit between Boggs and Casebolt in the middle of 3 and 4. Still Lou Bradish in front. Alex Faree 2nd. Tim hit 3rd. Matt Miller 4th. Boggs 5th. Flinner to 6th. Casebolt 7th. Geisler 8th. Baker is 9th. And Johnson's back in the top 10 in the 19.
Well, sometimes it's a contact sport, Dow. Up front, Lou Bradish has led it all the way so far. His lap 13. And Lynn Geisler now in that number 1 Cochran car. He's made his way back up there. He goes around Casebolt for position.
Yeah, he went around him quick like Geisler down the back straightaway in the Cochran Automotive 1C. Closing in now on John Flinner. Matt Miller continues to pester Tim Hitt for 3rd. They're side by side coming off of 4. 14 laps are down.
Keep an eye on the progress in the back. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series points leader, Don O'Neill's gone around 6 cars. Remember, lap 50, after that's completed, we'll throw the yellow.
Davey Johnson picking up 1 more spot over Steve Baker. Caution on the Speedway. Caution is out. Caution is out. We've got
must be debris on the racetrack, Dow. That's what it is.
Up in turn 3. Late coming out of the pits here. And I'm not sure where he's going. Can't go out that way. Can't go out that way. That's going to cost the real deal.
Down the back straightaway. They're working lap 15. Here comes Matt Miller on the inside. And O'Neill, you have to come out in turn number 1. He's going to go a lap down. Everybody better watch out there. Clear pit road.
Look at this,
and
4 wide.
A lap down, 4 wide. And John Flinner.
Flinner up into fourth. Johnson, Geisler, and Casebolt now 3 wide. Johnson, who was 10th on the restart. Casebolt, the victim of some more contact, gets shuffled back further. The juice is up to 6th. It's still Lou Bradish out in front. Ferree second. Matt Miller's been impressive. He's starting to steadily move forward in 3rd.
Steve Casebolt probably trying to feel like a punching bag out there as cars come out of turn 2. And look at the 99 car, Donnie Moran. He's on the move now. He'll go to the inside for position.
And for second, Matt Miller nosing ahead of Alex Ferree in turn 4, and John Flinner continues to turn up the wick in the 48s.
Lynn Geisler also, he's behind Davey Johnson. They're not out of it yet. Side by side, second spot, Miller and Ferree. And look at Flinner right there.
Flinner looks like he has got a fast horse.
That's right, and up out of the groove. Here they are, side by side. Give that spot to Matt Miller.
Miller, Ferree, Flinner. We got a car slowing down. I believe it's the 68 of Tim Hitt. Tim Hitt, who was running as high as second, has come to a stop in turn 4, and the caution is back out. 18 laps are down. A race that he led 49 laps a year ago before running out of fuel on the final lap. He got it back this year, and wow, this would cap off a great season for Lou. We got a long way to go, though, and here comes Matt Miller on the restart. He challenges Bradish on the inside in turn 1. Off of 2, it's Alex Ferree, who was 3rd, taking
Down
the
back
lead.
straightaway. Great move by Ferree, and here comes Jackie Boggs on the outside. Matt Miller works the inside. New leader. It's gonna be Alex Ferree.
Ferree, who was second, then got shuffled back, has worked his way to the front. Miller went to the inside of Bradish there, and all of a sudden Ferree cracked the whip on the outside. He's your leader. Boggs is 4th, Flinner 5th, Johnson 6th, Moran 7th, Geisler is 8th, and it's B.A. Malquit running 9th with Gary Stuhler 10th. 20 laps are down. 30 to the halfway fuel stop.
Well, the drivers had started on the front row, running 1st and 2nd. It has not always been that way in this race. Matt Miller back in 3rd. Jackie Boggs settles in 4th. Flinner runs in 5th. And Ferree has stretched that lead out right now into turn 1.
He is really pouring it on. He is really flying. Matt Miller continues to nip at the heels for Lou Bradish for 2nd. Boggs 4th, Flinner 5th, Johnson 6th, Moran. Then it's Geisler, Malquit, and Stuhler, your top 10. This will be lap 22. Second, James, side by side.
Great race. Miller and Bradish into 1. That was too close to call for us here at the line. We'll let the official scores work that one out, but no doubt right now Matt Miller will go to 2nd down the back straightaway. And here comes Jackie Boggs.
Yeah, Matt with a strong charge on the inside into turn number 1. The McCullough Motorsports 7. Boggs trying to get by Bradish for 3rd, but Lou stands on it on the outside. Coming off it, Boggs will make the pass. So Bradish, who led the first 18, now finds himself going backwards as Flinner goes by. Bradish back into 5th.
Lou Bradish led the first 18 laps. Right now he's gone from 1st to 5th. And Davey Johnson, Moran, and Geisler will be behind him. Ferree and Matt Miller now will set sail into turn 1 to try to catch him.
Coming to the 1/4 mark. 24 laps are down, and the lead continues to grow for Alex Ferree, a half a straightaway over Matt Miller as they sort of separate your top 10 cars running single file. Back a ways, Ed Ferree trying to pass Scott James on the backstretch. 25 laps are down in the Pittsburgher. Alex Ferree, who started on the pole, is your leader.
And again, the current Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series points leader, Don O'Neill, has called it a race. So that will mean that Pearson, Miller, Moran's going to pick up some points on him here tonight.
The race that Alex is running, if the race does stay green, he's going to be closing on the back of the field here in a handful of laps or so, and we might see our first traffic of the evening.
Working lap 27 in that rocket chassis, Franklin Racing Supply entry. Matt Miller holding his own right there, not trying to abuse the tires or anything like that.
But he has cut into the lead. It has shrunk. Miller is making up ground on Ferree, little by little, it would appear.
Well, Alex Ferree's been very impressive. First time I've seen him run in a long time, and this young man doing a good job. 25 years old right now, holding the lead. Matt Miller and Boggs and Flinner trying to track him down. So right now, how about the locals still doing a good job? What do we have? 3 out of the top 5 right now.
From Western PA, Faree, Flinner, and Bradish. Another Western PA driver, though more of a national name. Davey Johnson 6th, Moran still 7th, Geisler is 8th, Malquit 9th, and Stuhler 10th. There's been no change in the top 10 here for several laps. Some guys, I think, trying to ride to the fuel stop and then see what they have tire-wise. Things are going to get interesting here in a few as the leaders continue to close in the back of the field, and Matt Miller continues to close in on Alex Faree, and Jackie Boggs and John Flinner are coming along for the ride.
20 to go to the break. Davey Johnson all over Bradish, trying to run him down. As they dive into turn number 1, Moran right there solidly in position. That is the 7th spot, and you mentioned it. And on the inside, here comes Juice on the inside of Bradish. Down the back straightaway. DJ backs off, lets Bradish go right here. Battle for the lead down the straightaway. Side by side at turn 1, Matt Miller and Alex Faree on lap 31 for the lead.
Matt Miller has been in 2 previous Pittsburghers. The best finish, he had a 9th in 2001. He is turning up the pressure, and I said Jackie Boggs and John Flinner are coming right with him. This is going to get real interesting as we complete lap 32, 18 to the halfway fuel stop.
Well, Alex Faree got back on that accelerator, didn't he? Now these cars do not run any radios, nor do they run any mirrors, but Faree, as Miller took a peek there, and Faree has picked it back up 3 car lengths to lead, and probably, 3 or 4 more laps will be in heavy traffic.
Yeah, and the groove may be narrowing a bit. B.A. Malquit in the 79 around Lynn Geisler and moving up, I believe, to 8th. Geisler 9th. His car looks to be getting awfully tight. Stuhler is 10th, and a car slowing is Rick Auckland in turns 3 and 4.
Rick Auckland, the Hall of Famer, the number 12 car, over 450 career wins. Looks like that K&E Trucking Masters build. He's got to go pit side, and Auckland is out of the race.
Well, 25 years young Alex Faree is about to gain a whole lot of experience as he closes on the back of the field with the Dream 2005 winner, Matt Miller, in his trail.
Out at turn 4. It's been a great race so far. Good competition throughout the field. Heavy traffic into turn 1. Alex Faree gets on the brakes. He slides up the racetrack, and here comes Matt Miller on the inside. New leader is Matt Miller.
He was alongside of Faree a few laps earlier, then settled back into second, but able to get by in traffic. And now Jackie Boggs right behind Faree for second, completing lap 36. Matt Miller trying to lap the 14G of Scott Gunn, and he does.
And Davey Johnson on the move in that 19 car, that Dale Byler reliable painting entry. He is closed on Flinner down the back straightaway as Miller will clear traffic. Faree will follow, and here comes Boggs.
Jackie Boggs around Scott Gunn. Matt Miller's got more traffic to deal with, completing lap 37. Faree, Boggs, Flinner, and Johnson, after getting by Bradish, has pulled quickly onto the heels of Flinner.
37 laps, Matt Miller.
Gary Stuhler's moved up a spot, dropping Lynn Geisler to 10th. It's hard to lap the cars because everyone's running a fast speed. There's no one you can look out there and say he's running really slow right now.
Well, that could be a problem for the leaders because it may be hard to pass somebody when you get up here to get around them, and somebody may go right around you. Alex Faree, on when Miller went around him, looks like he got on the brakes too hard, and the car slid up the racetrack. You got one down on the back straightaway.
Scott Gunn pitting in car 14G. 12 laps to halfway. Your leader, Matt Miller, around the 17 of Lance Ellison. Faree trying to pass him, but can't. There's one car between first and second. Boggs, Flinner, and Johnson, third, fourth, and fifth. Single file into 3. Matt Miller now trying to lap Tim Dohm.
10 to go.
That's right. 40 down, 10 to halfway. Alex Faree has not been able to get by Lance Ellison. And now Johnson gets by Flinner. Davey is up to 4th in the reliable painting 19 from 18th.
Davey Johnson showing that you can pass here in that 19 car. Right now, Matt Miller behind Tim Dohm, and Faree trying to get around Lance Ellison. 9 to go to the break.
Still one lap car between first and second, but Miller's not been able to pass Dohm. Faree's not been able to get by Ellison. Here they come through 3 and 4. Miller looks to the inside of Dohm, but Dohm with great straightaway speed will hold him off. Lou Bradish clawed up to Flinner as well. Your top 6 cars pretty close through 1 and 2.
Matt Miller, 2-time Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series winner this year. At Belleville, Kansas, and at West Liberty, Iowa. He had the Hoosier Classic at Brownstown 1. And Jackie Boggs on the move. Jackie Boggs takes second place in 4B.
And here comes Johnson trying to get by Faree for third. Alex will hold him off into turn one, getting back to the inside of the racetrack. It's Boggs now second, still a lap car between he and race leader Matt Miller.
And Dome drifts up out of the group. Matt Miller cleanly around him. Matt now a little bit of distance between him and the back of the field of Tim Hitt. 6 to go coming up now. 5 more coming up next time around to the break.
To the halfway fuel stop, and Tim Hitt, the two-time winner of the Pittsburgh, the next car in front of race leader Matt Miller. Hitt ran so strong early, got a flat tire, and now slips in 4, and here comes Miller by. Still 2 lap cars between Miller and Boggs. Ferree third, Johnson fourth, less than 5 to go to the fuel stop. Flinner 6th, Bradish 7th, Moran 8th, and Malquit 9th. Your top 9 cars all running on the same straightaway.
Very impressive. Good race so far. 4 to go to the break. Matt Miller now. He'll close on fellow Buckeye driver John Mason into turn 1. Jackie Boggs running in second in the 4B. Then it's Ferree, Johnson, and Flinner. As you mentioned, Bradish, Moran, Malquit not out of it yet. And down the back straightaway, Gary Stuhler makes his presence known as he's starting to close in.
They call him Mr. Smooth. He's one of those guys you don't sort of notice a lot. Smooth out there lap after lap. Usually when the checks are being signed at the end of the night, he's getting one of the ones with a lot of zeros on it. Gary Stuhler quietly working into contention here. Just 2 laps to halfway this time by. Still 2 lap cars between Miller and Boggs. No more as Boggs slides under Tim Dome in turn 4. 2 more lap cars, and then the 3rd place car of Alex Ferree with Davey Johnson 4th. Johnson pressuring Ferree pretty good lap after lap. Flinner 5th, Bradish, Moran, Malquit, and Stuhler.
Matt Miller looking very impressive right now, trying to gain valuable points in the chase for the title. As the layover flag to John Mason as they go into 1, this will be the halfway mark coming up this time around.
That's a big thing right now because O'Neill's already out. Pearson is the second to last car right now in the lead lap, so Miller and Moran stand to make up a lot of ground if things continue the way they're going. We are halfway. Matt Miller has completed 50 laps of the 17th annual Pittsburgh. The Waterville, Ohio driver is your leader. Jackie Boggs second. Alex Ferree third, Davey Johnson 4th, John Flinner is 5th.
And here comes the yellow. Everybody clears lap 50 in the books. And there's your yellow to signify the halfway break. We got them all scored. Had to wait till they all crossed the start-finish line to score lap 50. And we do so, and here comes the mandatory fuel break right here.
Earl Pearson Jr.
Third series win of the year, but right now he's got Jackie Boggs breathing down his neck, and 50 more racing laps to go. A long way to go, Dow, to decide it. And we'll start them single file, nose to tail. At the cone, we refire the Pittsburgh 100.
It's Matt Miller leading him into turn number 1. The $1 Million Man goes to the outside in car 99. Meantime, Ferree to the inside of Boggs. Moran to 4th.
Well, he proves you can still pass out there, can't you? As he jumps up in there, and here comes Malquit on the inside. And B.A. going for 5th in 79, and now Rayburn, he's there.
Stuhler to 6th. Stuhler to 6th. Bradish drops to 7th. Kate Bolt is 8th. I'll tell you, the surprise of the whole weekend when you look at it is Brad Malquit. Hasn't even driven a car in at least a year or so. Jumped back in a late model in the middle of this season, and first time here this year, and former track champion, and his experience is showing. He runs 5th.
Gary Stuhler up to 6th. Down the back straightaway, Bradish is 7th. Case Bolt is 8th. Baker is 9th. Flinner runs in 10th, as will complete lap 53.
53 laps complete. Matt Miller, steady lead over Jackie Boggs. Alex Ferree and Donnie Moran. Malquit 5th, Stuhler 6th, Bradish 7th. Case Bolt 8th, Baker 9th, and Flinner is still 10th.
Everybody still on the lead lap except for Dome and Elson. Here comes Moran, takes a peek on the inside, Dow, and they go wheel to wheel, and Donnie Moran, and he'll slide to the inside of that Masters-built out of turn 4, and Donnie Moran goes to 3rd place.
Well, from 5th to 3rd in 5 laps for the $1 Million Man, Donnie Moran, who started 17th Now up to third, a chance to not only win this race, but close the gap on series points leader Don O'Neill.
When do you think they got the word that Don O'Neill was out of the race?
Sure.
They might have been told during the fuel break. Where's O'Neill running? Well, he's pit side and out of the race, and they're going to gain some valuable points on him right now. Two of those drivers right now, Matt Miller and Donnie Moran, second or first and third.
And he is closing the gap on the front two cars. Jackie Boggs second, Matt Miller your leader, 57 laps in the books.
Press this weekend, Alex Ferree doing a great job at that number 4 car. And he's running in fourth right now. Malcolm trying to catch him. Gary Stuhler 6th. Brady 7th. Case Bolt now back in 8th. And Flinner is 9th and 10th is Baker.
No change in your top 10. Things are tightening up a bit out in front. The $1 Million Man just a couple of car lengths behind Boggs, and Boggs closing the gap on Matt Miller.
Well, race fans. It's getting tight for the lead. Here comes Moran on the inside of Boggs.
Into 1 and 2, Matt Miller continues to show the way. Donnie Moran a little better in the middle of the turn, able to close in on Jackie Boggs again, but Boggs beats him down the backstretch.
Right now we have Ohio, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Ohio in the top 5 as 60 laps click off 40 to go.
Miller has picked it up a bit too. I think he heard Boggs come at him a couple of laps earlier, and Matt now has extended that lead back to where it was. Alex Ferree and B.A. Malquit trying to join that 3-car freight train out in front. Back a ways to Stuhler running 6th. Bradish still 7th. Cates Bolt 8th. Flinner a close 9th. And 10th by himself, Freddie Smith, the Southern gentleman. Where's he come from?
Freddie Smith on the move. Here comes Scott James for position at 83 alongside Baker into 1. And Scott James goes inside the top 10 in car 83.
Traffic not far away for the race leaders either as we complete lap 62. They are a straightaway now behind the back of the field. The lead has grown here over the last couple of laps for Matt Miller.
They can hear the engines behind him, and no doubt he heard that Cropper race engine of Jackie Boggs and Miller. He runs a Russell Baker engine. They build those in Oklahoma right now, holding the lead. Looking good down the back straightaway, 63 laps in the books. And Moran third, 4th still is Ferree, 5th Malquit, 6th Stuhler, 7th Bradish, 8th Case Bolt, 9th Flinner, 10th is Freddie Smith. And
Sparks smokes. He's to the pits. Alex Ferree's great run in the 17th annual Pittsburgher coming to an end. Something rubbing underneath the car. You can see the sparks.
Well, something broke on the 4 car. We'll check the truck, make sure that was not a drive shaft or anything. And it doesn't appear to be that way. And Alex Ferree, you got to take your hat off to that young man. He looks like he's going to make it back to the pit area. Down the back straightaway. 65 laps now in the books. Matt Miller still showing the way.
Now you've got a huge gap between the front 3 cars and Big Malquit. And the caution is out as Ferree can't make it to the pits. Now he goes. Caution is out for Alex Ferree, who was running 4th when something broke underneath that car.
Geisler and Lynn, unfortunately, is out of the race.
Donnie Moran was quick on the last restart. Can he jump further forward? He'll follow Boggs and Miller into 1 and 2, and it'll stay single file on the back straightaway, but here he comes.
Steve Casebold on the move, and the young Indiana driver gets a position back in the 6th. Moran takes a peek on Boggs out of 4.
Scott James trying to take a spot from Freddie Smith as they exit turn 4 down the front stretch. Freddie will hold him off into turn number 1.
Freddie running 9th, James is 10th, 11th is Baker, 12th is Pearson, 4th is Ed Ferree, and battle right here. Flinner takes a peek on Bradish.
Flinner trying to get underneath Lou off of 4, but it's still Bradish running in that spot with Flinner now in 8th, but a Flinner again to the inside of Lou into 1 and 2. Can't make it work.
Right now, it's almost, you got to stay in that groove right now. Well, whether they pick up traffic, we won't know with 32 to go. Right now, Jackie Boggs a solid 2nd, Moran right there in 3rd. So those guys trying to hold the groove as they have the momentum built up now back down the back straightaway.
Matt Miller looks very solid. He just, you know, he's been hitting his marks. Every lap looks the same. You never see the car veering or anything. He just straight the whole way around the racetrack. An impressive run for a guy who, again, hasn't been here very often.
Well, one of the things about running a series such as the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, you get a big test each and every weekend out because you don't know who's going to win. 17 different winners in the first 27 races. And Miller trying to become a 3-time winner.
Things tightening up a bit between Steve Casebolt, Lou Bradish, and John Flinner. Flinner hard into that first turn, and he will make the pass of Bradish. John
Good clean
Flinner.
move. Good clean move, Dow. He was on the gas harder. He drove in deeper than Bradish, and that's for position. And now Freddie Smith and Scott James will close on Bradish.
Lou, of course, led the first 18 laps, now trying to stay in the top 10.
Right now, it's about 6-7 car lengths to lead, but only a couple now between Moran and Boggs as they'll scoot out at turn 4. Moran closes right on Jackie Boggs here on the main straightaway as they'll go into turn number 1. Moran trying to set him up now with 28 to go.
Yeah, he had a good run off of 4, and he's got another great run off of 2. He is really turning up the pressure on Jackie Boggs, trying to duck underneath Jackie. Here he comes into turn 4, side by side for second.
Great race at the line. Boggs had him by half a car length. Wow.
And Jackie with a good run through 1 and 2 figured, okay, Donnie, it's time for me to get going. Look at him go.
And John Mason down. Smoke trails the 72 car. Racing John Mason will take that entry to the infield out of the race. So right now it's Miller, Boggs, Moran, Malquit. Stuhler is 5th. Casebolt is 6th. Flinner is 7th. Bradish is 8th. Freddie Smith is 9th. Scott James runs in 10th.
I think Donnie Moran woke up Jackie Boggs. He has really picked it up, and he slips a little bit. He got high in 4, and Moran closes back in. 25 laps to go. Well, whatever tires they've got, these front 3, especially Boggs and Moran, it's time to show your hand. Donnie closing in into 3. Boggs up high. Moran to the inside. Side by side for second. Moran's got the spot. Boggs has got a problem. Jackie Boggs with a problem in the Miller Brothers Coal. 4B, the caution is on the speedway. Tire may be down. Looks like it might be the left rear on Jackie Boggs. 4B.
Car.
We've got ourselves a 25 lap Sunday night feature. 25 laps to go in the Pittsburgh 100. The green is back out. Boy, look at Matt Miller go. Shot out of a cannon.
Down the back straightaway, Jackie Boggs. He'll re-enter the race into turn 1. This is a big racetrack, so he'll have some making up to do. But as they come out of turn 4, here comes Matt Miller.
Miller has been steady smooth. Moran dropping back on the restart. We'll try to track him down now. Malquit slides a bit high in turn 2, and here comes Gary Stuhler with a run on Malquit down the backstretch.
So right now, how about this for parity? A Rocket, a Masters Built, and a Rayburn in the top 3 right now.
Masters Built running 4th. Rocket 5th, 6th, 7th, GRT 8th, Rocket 9th, and Masters Built 10th.
Oh, Jackie Boggs. A puff of smoke out of the 4B car. Not sure what that was, and you see it right here on the main straightaway.
Caution is out.
And that'll bring out the caution flag. Start 23 to go to decide it.
Moran stays right with Matt Miller this time.
And Malquit now makes a move on the inside. Here comes Casebolt down the back straightaway. That Soybert calf wrenches entry. He took a peek alongside. Freddie Smith, the Southern gentleman, has that GRT working on the inside. Up front, it's still Matt Miller.
And here comes Flinner to the inside of Casebolt. The battle for 5th into turn 1.
Pair of Rocket chassis. Flinner signs and decals entry. Casebolt and that Rocket pulls back out in front of him. Bradish, Freddie Smith, James Pearson, still your top 10. Here we go, 21 to go.
Single file formation, not much changing. Sort of equal distance apart. Miller and Moran, a little bit of daylight over Malquit.
Well, right now it's all about you hope that right rear tire holds up. You hit your marks lap after lap. Again, this is a momentum racetrack. And they've got it built up right now, so you just got to concentrate now, lap after lap. You're going to finish up front.
Less than 20 to go. Matt Miller, Donnie Moran giving it all he can. He is really taking that car into turn number 3. That S&S engine was humming down the back chute as he tries to close in on Matt Miller.
He might have been just testing that Masters build car just to see what he had for Miller, because we may not pick up the tail end of the field anymore in this race if it stays green the rest of the way.
Yeah, they got a half a lap to go to catch the back of the field and only 18 laps to the checkered flag. Moran has closed the gap here the last couple of laps. He is right there on Miller's tail. Miller with a problem. Donnie Moran's your new leader. Matt Miller.
Matt Miller.
Caution on the Speedway. Donnie Moran is your new leader, the 1991 winner of the Pittsburgh 100.
Kentucky a few weeks ago in a Lucas Oil race. He did not make it to the finish line where he was running. Here we go. 18 to go. What does Malput, Stuhler, Casebolt, Flinner have? And Flinner's going to go to the edge side. That's a move, and he will just barely make it in front. And here comes Freddie Smith down the back straightaway.
Casebolt hasn't given up that 4th spot just yet. They race hard. They're wheel to wheel, and Casebolt's he saves it. He saves it, but look at the scramble behind him. They're bouncing and banging. And spinning out is Ed Ferree in car 4.
Ed Ferree, they all almost made it all the way through, and the caution's going to come out. He's not out of it yet. 17 to go. Will the tires hold up for Donnie Moran? Here we go.
Into 1. Moran looking strong. Look at that lead grow.
Gary Stuhler right behind Malquid down the back straightaway as they go single file down the back straightaway. Again, only the back 2 cars not on the lead lap. Everybody else is. Moran will extend that lead. 6 car lengths already with 16 to go.
Donnie looks strong. I tell you, if his higher tires hold up, I don't know anyone has anything for him. The Dresden driver, Dresden, Ohio driver, the $1 Million Man, formerly the Frazeysburg Flash when he lived in a different city. Whatever you want to call him fast. 15 to go.
See Freddie Smith works Bradish, Scott James all over Casebolt. Passing right now at a premium here with 15 to go. You just try to see if the guy in front of you gets up out of the groove. That may see a couple of cars go around you. So Lou Bradish, who started on the outside front row, he's running in 5th. Smith 6th, Casebolt 7th, James 8th, 9th is DJ, 10th is Pearson. And that points lead that Don O'Neill had, 120 points coming in the race tonight. It's going to shrink considerably now when we head to West Virginia Motor Speedway next weekend for 2 shows.
Dozen laps to go, folks. 12 laps remaining.
Well, they've all pretty well settled down here in single file right now. But we've had some great racing in this event. 4 different leaders of the Pittsburgh 100. Donnie Moran, will he be the 4th and final leader of this race with 11 to go?
And trying to become the 5th driver to win this race at least twice. Joining Scott Bloomquist, Davey Johnson, Rick Auckland, and Tim Hitt.
Well, 10 to go, 90 laps in the books. Brad Malquid 2nd, Gary Stuhler 3rd, Flinner is 4th, Bradish runs in 5th.
Smith 6th, Casebolt 7th, James is 8th, Johnson 9th, and Pearson is still 10th. They are not going to catch the back of the pack here. Clear racetrack to the checkered flag, it would appear.
Well, still 9 to go. Will that right rear hold up for those front runners right now? Everybody looks like they've settled down here with 8 to go. Nobody trying any desperate moves or anything right now. Just hoping and praying maybe the guy in front of him slips up out of the groove. Good clean racing here.
Front four have definitely separated themselves. Back a straightaway to the 5th place car of Lou Bradish.
Freddie Smith trying to catch him. Here they come. 5th, 6th, 7th, and on back. The rest of your top 10 headed into turn number 1.
Matt Miller with a problem in car 7.
And Matt Miller slowed it down. As you mentioned, 7 laps have been remaining in this race. Matt Miller up top side. The caution will come out.
Miller crosses the racetrack and Moran squeezes by on the bottom. Woof.
Trophy, Brad Malquit. It would be one of the biggest upsets we've seen in a long time if BA can come through. Here we go, 7 to go. Maybe to some of the newcomers in racing it might be an upset, but we've seen Brad run for several years back.
Yeah.
What, in the 70s and 80s and early 90s?
In mid-90s here, he was
Right.
the champion.
So he can get the job done right now. Donnie Moran will show the way with 6 to go at the start-finish line.
Steve Casebolt trying to get by Freddie Smith, can't do it off the 4th turn. 6 to go.
And Malquit slipped up a little bit. Gary Stuhler now down the back straightaway. That Glenn Neininger owned a number 90 car. And Malquit drives it in hard, and Stuhler sees an opening on the inside. Here comes Gary Stuhler, other side by side, and Malquit will have him at the line with 5 to go.
Boy, that car of Malquit's, that Mopar under the hood is really screaming down the straightaways.
Drove that baby hard into turn 3, didn't he? He drifted up, and Stuhler saw the door open just a little bit. And now Flinner on the move in 48 now. Here comes 2nd, 3rd, and 4th with 4 to go.
Flinner slipped in 4. He'll drop back a couple of spots. A couple of car lengths, I should say.
Lou Bradish still 5th, Freddie Smith 6th, Steve Casebolt Jr. 7th, Scott James 8th, Davey Johnson 9th, Earl Pearson Jr. settling right there in 10th.
Coming around to complete lap number 98, just 2 laps to go. Donnie Moran, he has been so close to winning more of these Pittsburgher, has 1 win in 1991, but he has been solidly in the top 5 in many of these Pittsburghers. One lap remaining in the 17th annual Pittsburgher. The $1 Million Man, Donnie Moran, leads them down the back straightaway for the all-important payoff lap. He'll become the 5th driver to win the Pittsburgher more than once. How about a nice hand for Donnie Moran? B.A. Malquit 2nd, Gary Stuhler 3rd, John Flinner 4th, Lou Bradish 5th, Smith 6th, Casebolt 7th, James 8th, Johnson 9th, and Earl Pearson Jr. 10th. The PBM Motorsports 99 of Donnie Moran will be headed to the scales to make it official as he tries to become, and it appears he will, be the 5th driver to win the Pittsburgher more than once, joining Tim Auckland, Davey Johnson, and Scott Bloomquist.
And you can hear him. Let's give him a big round of applause. What a race he drove. Donnie Moran! Wow. Well, we talked before the race, ESPN2 cameras here. You've put on a great show for the 90 million people, I guess, all over the country that can watch you. But great job. Yeah, exciting race.
Oh, you know, we just had to start back there a little ways, and we just kept biding our time. We knew we was going to have fuel stop, and just had to be, I guess, in my older age, you'd learn to be a little bit patient. But, you know, what can I say for my crew? If it wasn't for this guy right here beside me, it would never happen. This is my dad, Ronnie Moran, owner and promoter of Muskegon County Speedway, and he's the one that got me started when I was just a young pup there. And you know, I want to say special thanks to him and my whole family back home. My wife and kids couldn't make it today. My boy and my little girl, they had football and cheerleading, so this will be a pretty big surprise for them when they hear we won. But Eddie Sunoco, one of the longtime sponsors that's been with me. Keith and Tater, everybody down there at Masterbuilt Chassis, we've had a tough year, and this makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Matt Miller, when he had his flat tire and left the race, then you're left out in front, you were thinking, Well, let's get this thing over with because I don't know how long my tires are going to last.
Well, that's what I thought, but we kind of set the car up a little bit to try to be easy on the right rear. It might not have been as fast, but the longer we went, it kept getting better and better, and you know, it wasn't quite as good as a couple of them guys on the restarts, but then after that, it would pick up pretty good, and like on that restart, Matt, he got away from me, but then I started reeling him right back in there, and you know, our tire's not very good either, but you know, what can I say? All our sponsors has been great to us. Keith Berner from AccuForce Dynos and his Bilstein shocks, what he's did for our program this year is tremendous help.
Have you looked at the right rear? How much do you have left on there?
Don't look because you wouldn't want it.
That's right. Well, congratulations. You drove a whale of a race. Ladies and gentlemen, Donnie Moran, the winner of the 17th annual Pittsburgh 100.
Well, folks, we thank you all for coming out, and I hope you enjoy the 17th annual Pittsburgh 100, sanctioned this year, of course, by the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Please take your time exiting the Speedway and have a safe trip home, a great off-season. And we look forward to seeing you in 2006 here at Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. It's been a pleasure working with the folks from the Lucas Oil Dirt Late Model Series, James, the gang. Thank you much, and hopefully we can do it again.